recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. Got a tight shot today. Show you more of my big head. Now it's time to listen to more of my big mouth. Thanks for joining. Welcome in, Tuesday edition Bruce Hooley Show, and we have 3 updates on 3 local school districts. News out of one is good. News out of the other 2, not good. And we will start with the good news. The suspected stabber of a student in the Hilliard School District, which happened yesterday morning around 7:20. That person has been caught. It is a 13-year-old boy. He was able to avoid arrest for a few hours yesterday after committing the crime. The person who he stabbed is recovering at Nationwide Children's Hospital. So kudos to Hilliard Police on finding this person, and we will keep you updated on what's happening with that as more details become available. I would doubt the details will very many become available because he's a juvenile and the victim is a juvenile, and our laws are such that we just don't get very many details on juveniles, even if they steal cars and carjack people, which we'll have something on the 14 and 15-year-olds, 2 of each, who carjacked a guy celebrating his birthday. I thought I had a bad birthday a year ago when they found my brain tumor. I'd rather have the brain tumor found than have been carjacked at gunpoint. That happens a lot in Columbus. We never hear from the victim, but thanks to Channel 10, they caught up with the victim, and we will hear from him later on today in the show. But first, after updating you on Hilliard, let's delve into the 2 other school districts, shall we? Columbus City Schools is one. Westerville City Schools is another. Columbus City Schools, of course, awash in dysfunction. How do you want to measure it? Wasted money. Yeah, they got that box checked. Bad test scores. Yeah, they got that box checked. Teachers who care more about their own agendas than students. Got that box checked a couple of years ago when they struck after school started. And now we have the Board of Education of the Columbus City Schools members secretly taping other members, which is not illegal because Ohio's a one-party state. And we have board members being, well, let's just say less than transparent, even though I know they promised nothing but transparency, except funny thing, they promised transparency, but when any local media outlet tries to interview them or get them on the record, they suddenly are unavailable. Do they know what transparency means? I don't think so. Well, I mean, they may know what it means. They just don't want to do it. But now they're having some pressure applied to them as we are finding out more about the secret phone calls, secret to Brandon Simmons, the member of the board who came up with a plan to win the PR argument on closing school buildings. Now, when you close school buildings in Columbus, it's going to be unpopular with the people who send their kids to those buildings near their home. Because, you want your kid to be able to go to the building closest home. It's convenient for you. It's convenient for them. Probably can't walk to school in Columbus lest you get shot. But nevertheless, you would rather they be closer than farther away. So Brandon Simmons, new member of the board, elected last November, concocted a plan. And his plan was to drive a wedge between the teachers union and the service workers, to give favorable treatment to media people that portrayed the Board of Education's view of these closings in a light the Board of Education preferred. All kinds of things that, aren't smart and certainly don't serve the widespread interests of the district when you concoct a policy that is going to sow more seeds of discord in a district. I think that's, by definition, not great for the district. And it turns out that didn't sit well, nor have any of the since disclosed developments sat well with faith leaders in the community who issued a statement that is just now coming to light, criticizing the board in about as strong a terms as you possibly can. I mean, when you say the current leadership has veered off course and it's clear that we need to elect individuals who are committed to progress, not political gamesmanship, our children cannot afford more of the same. That's a pretty strong statement. It comes from Reverend John Little, who is the president of the Baptist Pastors Conference of Columbus and vicinity. He says, the Board of Education has, quote, lost confidence in this board's ability to prioritize the needs of our students, teachers, and families. Now, Mr. Little is not some Johnny-come-lately on this. He was on the task force to help the Columbus Board of Education decide which school buildings they were going to close. And so was Reverend Kevin Hairston of the Living Word Bible Fellowship, who noted that two of the people caught up in this kind of surreptitious taping scandal, one would be Brandon Simmons, and the other one would be Vice President of the board, Tina Pierce. Both were endorsed by the Columbus Education Association, and now it's coming to light that both Simmons and Pierce were talking on the phone. Simmons taped phone calls of board members are subject to Freedom of Information Act requests, so the media can get their hands on some of them, not all of them, because it turns out that we were led to believe there was only one 28-minute phone call between Brandon Simmons and Tina Pierce. Now we know differently. We know that there were far more phone calls made between the two. They spoke, according to the latest disclosures, 4 times on May the 19th. One of those calls was 38 minutes long. Media in town have been given access to that. But there was another 59-minute recording, then a 28-minute recording, then a 2-minute recording, and a 4-minute recording. Oh, wow, there's a lot there. Not very transparent, not very authentic in the faith leaders in the town are upset about this. And I certainly feel like their problems with this whole entire issue are well justified because, and they're totally right. They are totally right. Reverend Hairston, again, he's Living Word Bible Fellowship, on the task force determining which schools to close, said in the statement, we are disheartened by the divisive tactics we are seeing from members of the school board. Instead of working together, they are creating conflict at a time when our children and our schools desperately need unified leadership. And then in the release, it says that the Columbus Board of Education, school district officials, and union leadership often approach local clergy when they need help with levies and bond issues. And then the rest of the year, they go silent and they don't have a relationship. And Reverend Frederick Lamar of the Family Missionary Baptist Church said he would like to see the board interact with the faith community, quote, long before election season. It says it's time for the school board, union leaders, and city officials to work with faith leaders year-round, not just when they need our help. Yes, correct. So hopefully these faith leaders will drive a consensus, a groundswell in the community that will hold these board members accountable. And the best place to hold a board member accountable is at the ballot box. If you don't like what they've done as a board member, vote them out. Vote them out. The problem is you probably won't get a better board member because in the city of Columbus, there are too many people who are uninformed and just simply vote for the candidate who has a D next to their name. So I don't know if Christina Vera, who was also the other board member who Brandon Simmons taped, and who also knew about all this before it came to light because another board member, Sarah Ingalls, leaked it to the teachers union. I mean, man, what a bunch of snakes. I mean, they're just a bunch of snakes on this board. But Vera is on the ballot in 2025, which is a year from now. Michael Cole's on the board, and Ramona Reyes is on the board. Simmons, Ingalls, and Pierce just got elected. They won't be on the board until 2020, on the ballot until 2027. So I know they're trying to pressure Simmons to resign. He doesn't have to. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But the people who have really gotten their hands the dirtiest in this whole deal are not going to be up for re-election until 2027. Will the memories be that long? Will people in town insist upon voting them out at that particular time? Will they put pressure on them and try to get them to resign? I'm heartened because, first and foremost, I would like to see the test scores of the students in the Columbus City School District. I have this revolutionary idea. I would like to see them actually get educated. Not programmed, not indoctrinated. I would actually like to see them get educated. I would like to see them be able to do basic math. I would like to see them be able to read at state level. None of that is happening now in Columbus City schools. The involvement of the faith community hopefully will be a good thing.
Clouds and showers, thunderstorm could be heavy this afternoon, which could see flooding and damaging wind, the high 80. Rain, thunderstorms this evening, otherwise cloudy and mild tonight, low 65. Clouds and shower in the area tomorrow, the high 70.
Who owns the 63 rental houses? I've heard a lot about this first time.
$1,000 a year and driving a Maserati as a company car. So
$7-10-40. Learn how a cost-free complimentary meeting may be the key to putting your money where your mouth is. And don't forget to listen to the Acquisition Blueprint Radio Show Friday evenings at 6, Saturday afternoons at noon, or call our office today at 614-917-1040.
Roadview Remodeling, Central Ohio's one-stop residential remodeling, specializing in the best sunrooms, windows, doors, decks, siding, patios, porches, motorized screens, and more. Call ProView Remodeling today and get 60 months, 0 interest, or 25% off. Call 7 days a week, 614-756-3140. You win with ProView, 614-756-3140, or go to ProViewRemodeling.com.
Before the most pivotal election of our lifetime, the Battleground Talkers Tour comes to Columbus. Be a part of the critical conversations that will influence the direction of America. See Bruce Hooley, Hugh Hewitt, Mike Gallagher, Larry Elder, and special guests live on stage Tuesday, October 22nd at Genoa Church in Westerville. The Battleground Talkers Tour. Tickets start at just $5 and are available now at 989theanswer.com.
They come here illegally, crossing our southern border. Then Sherrod Brown rolls out the welcome mat for them here in Ohio. Brown voted to give amnesty to 11 million illegal immigrants, including those convicted of crimes like drunk driving, aggravated assault, and child abuse. And Sherrod Brown voted 10 times to protect sanctuary cities in Ohio, which released dangerous illegals back onto the street, making Ohio's neighborhoods less safe. And while we struggle to make ends meet, Sherrod Brown is voting to give illegals taxpayer-funded benefits, like health care for illegals granted amnesty, Social Security, COVID relief checks, even a program to fly Haitian migrants into Ohio airports, all paid for by you, the taxpayer. You think you know Sherrod Brown? Well, after 31 years in Washington, Sherrod Brown's way too liberal for Ohio. American taxpayers paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, unauthorized by any candidate or AmericanCrossroads.org.
You'll sleep better knowing you got a great deal on a great mattress, because you got it from Mac Mattress Outlet and the Discount Shopping Club. Right now, get a $500 certificate from Mac Mattress Outlet for any mattress purchase for only $250. These certificates go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. For details, log on to the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com.
Economic policies of the Biden administration have put a lot of families in a tight financial situation. 989 The Answer trying to come to your rescue on that. Enter the gas and groceries giveaway sweepstakes. Oh, I undersold it. The $13,000 gas and groceries giveaway sweepstakes. That's right. Grand prize winner gets $10,000 to spend on gas and groceries. No, we're not going to monitor it. You can spend it on whatever you want. Rent or catching up on your credit card bills. But it's pretty self-evident that gas and groceries are a staple in every American family's budget. I guess that's why the Fed strips out gas and groceries when they calculate their preferred inflation metric. Makes no sense to me. What does make sense to me is you going to 989theanswer.com and entering until September the 30th, because you can't win if you can't enter or don't enter. And you can enter more than once a day if you complete bonus entry options. Do it. 989theanswer.com. It's 989theanswer.com. All right, here comes the disclaimer. I serve on a local board of education. I do not speak for my local board of education, and I am not referring to my local school district when I speak about the next topic I am going to speak about. I'm speaking about Westerville City Schools and the decision last night at the Board of Education meeting that was a preliminary hoop jumping exercise. Whenever you have a new board policy, you have to give it 2 public readings. So last night was the first public reading. Look, they're going to rescind permission for LifeWise Academy to operate in the Westerville School District. That is very evident from what happened last night at the Westerville Board of Education meeting, despite the fact that the room was packed with LifeWise Academy supporters. Now, this is a decision that the board can make. They're going to make it, and their gutless superintendent is going to allow it to be made because she's had pressure placed upon her by the Westerville Progressive Alliance. And as I dug into this issue, it is very interesting how cozy this relationship is between members of the school's Board of Education and the Westerville Progressive Alliance. Listen, we live in a free country, and I obviously am not a progressive, okay? And so if Westerville wants to go down the drain, it's Westerville's decision. I picked my daughter up at a Westerville school play a few years ago, and I'm standing outside waiting on her and her friends to come out. And I thought, am I waiting for my daughter to come out of a school play, or am I standing in Darwin's waiting room? I mean, this was like every shade of hair, every kind of, it was an eye-opener. Let me put it that way. An eye-opener. Okay. So Westerville, going down the crapper, I can't stop you. But I feel bad for people who live in Westerville, who are good Christian people, or who are people who are desirous of their children having access to a legal program. That LifeWise Academy is legal. It is a volunteer program. And so nobody is forced to go to LifeWise Academy. The student has to volunteer to do it, ask to do it, and the parents of the student have to agree for it to be done. And the program in Bible instruction takes place off school property. The kids are bused there on LifeWise Academy buses, not on Westerville school buses. And they are taught by volunteers, not by teachers from the school. So it's a legal program. It's flourishing all over the state of Ohio. It's flourishing in my district. Parents love it. Kids love it. But in Westerville, after it has operated for 2 years, and at the end of last year, they had about 300 students, and they would have if they weren't backdoored and backstabbed by this board and this gutless superintendent, Christy Meyer. They would escalate to 300 or more this year, because that's what LifeWise does. It goes into any district in the state of Ohio, and it always grows. It grows during the year, and it grows from year to year. It rescinds membership at the beginning of the year. It diminishes back down because you have to sign up for it every year. And so it takes a little while for people to say, oh, yeah, I want my kid in that again. I thought last year, since I was in it, it would be, you know, customary for them to be in it again. But you have to sign up every year. So that's why it lags back in the beginning of the year. But unless the board stepped in, which it's going to at its October the 14th meeting, that's very obvious, because the objection is that it's a disruption to the school day. Now, this is a phony baloney objection, just like the original phony baloney objections were phony baloney. Oh, LifeWise is not responsible for the kids. We can't release our kids to an organization that's not responsible for the kids. And LifeWise is like, no, we're liable for the kids. We accept that. And then it was, oh, federal lunches can't be taken off school property. Got to eat them here on school property, so we can't release them at lunch. That's bogus, too, because the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce makes that clear on their website. But Westerville's Board of Education didn't consult that website. They went to the USDA website, which says, oh, they can't be taken off school property. So it's just all bogus minutia that they're trying to hide behind. They really just don't want religious instruction. Now, they've had a release time religious instruction program in their board policy at Westerville since 2009. And this disruption to the school day thing is being sold as, well, you know, when you have all these organizations that want to pull kids out of the schools, I mean, just imagine how disruptive that will be. How many organizations do they have that are doing that and have done that since 2009? Can you guess? That's right. It would be one. LifeWise Academy. That would be one. Now, they just named a replacement member to the board in Westerville, and I know Westerville has a growing Muslim population. The new member to the board is a woman named Anissa Liban. She is the CEO of a Somali community fundraising organization. And it's interesting. I was noting that the Ohio State representative who represents Westerville is a person who portrays herself as a progressive, Beryl Brown Picolantonio of House District 4. And wouldn't you know that the new member of the Westerville Board of Education is hosting a fundraiser for Beryl Brown Picolantonio on September the 29th. That's a cozy relationship where if you have $500, you can be a gold sponsor, $150 silver, $50 bronze, or if you're a young Democrat, $25. Looked into Beryl Brown Picolantonio. She used to serve on a board of education, not Westerville, Gahanna. Guess what she accomplished while she was the president of the Gahanna Board of Education? That's right. She got rid of release time religious instruction. So this is clearly a Westerville Progressive Alliance pressure campaign that the Westerville Board of Education is bending to. And they're not doing anything illegal. They're also not allowing for something legal, LifeWise Academy. Who's hurt by this if you don't want your kid in it? Nobody. But they're trying to impose their godless beliefs on the kids who want to go, on the kids who find meaning in it, retarding the parents' ability to raise their kids the way the parents desire. And I'll go back to the situation we talked about with the Columbus Board of Education. The faith leaders say, you know, it's time we elect some people who actually have our best interest at heart. Same applies in Westerville, except you don't have to wait in Westerville until board members come up for re-election. You got a levy on the ballot in November. And if I were a parent in the Westerville school districts, I would evaluate whether the board is actually being responsible to all parents, not just those with an agenda.
With SRN News, Robert Thomason. It was his last appearance before the UN Security Council as President of the United States. President Biden addressed the world body this morning in New York. Israeli airstrikes continue pounding away at Hezbollah targets in Lebanon, going after rocket launchers that are often concealed in residential neighborhoods. Florida's Gulf Coast bracing for a possible hit by what could be a major hurricane later this week. The impact may be felt from the Tampa area to the Big Bend and Panhandle in Florida. The son of the man suspected of trying to kill former President Trump in Florida has been arrested on charges relating to the possession of images of child sexual abuse. On Wall Street, stocks currently higher. The Dow is up 92 points, while the Nasdaq Composite Index ahead 31, and the S&P trading 3 points higher. More details at srnnews.com.
Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333. 800-885-3333.
He's one of the top 10 radio hosts in the country. He never varnishes his opinions. And now more than ever, you need to spend part of your day with a healthy dose of the Mike Gallagher Show. Weekday mornings from 9 to 11 on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be.
If you're a local business and want to see what Salem Surround can do for you, Google Salem Surround Columbus. Remember to Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
I'm going to let you in on a little wireless hack that can cut your cell phone bill in half every single month. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile want you to believe you need unlimited data so they can way overcharge you. Here's a fact. Most of us are buying way more data than we would ever need. Well, Pure Talk, my cell phone company, only charges you for data you actually want. Listen to this. For just $25 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data, plus a mobile hotspot. Do you know what you can do with 5 gigs of data? You can browse the internet for 135 hours, stream 1,000 songs, or watch 10 hours of video. Stop overpaying for wireless and get 5G coverage with Pure Talk. Dial pound 250 and say the keyword Mike Gallagher. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make switching super easy. There's no contract, no activation fee. You can even keep your phone and your number. Dial pound 250 and say Mike Gallagher, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM. The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn or iHeart.
Well, I had somebody inquire yesterday about the VIP experience at the big Battleground Talkers Tour date that we are hosting October the 22nd at Genoa. And here's what I can report. You can first and foremost get $25 off your ticket by using the promo code Bruce25. Now, I'm a competitive person, okay? And there are other hosts here at the station that have their own promo code. So I'm just saying, if you want to join us at the VIP, let's see how many Bruce25 discounts we can get. And let's see how full we can fill the auditorium at Genoa Christian Fellowship. I'll be there. Jack Windsor, host of the Windsor Report, will be there. And I presume our own Bob Burney will be there, although I don't think Bob has a speaking role on stage because, of course, we got to make time for Hugh Hewitt and Mike Gallagher and Larry Elder and all the other honchos that are coming in, including people who are either in political office now or hoping to become elected officials. So get your VIP ticket. It's about $100 once you use the promo code Bruce25 at 9890answer.com. General admission tickets, just $5. 9890answer.com. A Springfield update. It's going to get really interesting. Springfield, Ohio. I said the other day when Donald Trump announced that he was going to come to Springfield, which I don't know if he is or isn't. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I'm trying to debate the political wisdom of that, because if Trump shows up in Springfield, the only headline that'll come out of it in the mainstream media is, here he is, he's lying about the dogs and the cats. Which again, Trump, don't give him the oxygen on this particular issue to lie about you. If he had just said, Springfield, Ohio is an absolute disaster with the number of Haitians who have been allowed to come into the country through the Biden CBP-1 app. This point, how powerful would this point have been at the debate if he had said, you talk about illegal immigration and people crossing the southern border. Number one, a lot of the people who cross the southern border are Haitians. Now, Haiti is not attached to Mexico. Haiti is surrounded by water. How are they getting there? That would have been a good question to ask. Also, did you know, this is Trump talking, did you know that you can be a Haitian and you can get online and register to be flown into the United States of America legally? Well, not really legally, because you're not a citizen, but you're given temporary protective status, which is a euphemism for permanent protected status, because of course the Biden administration is never going to make you move out of the nation. So Trump could have said that. He didn't say that. He talked about the dogs and the cats. So if he goes to Springfield, that's what they're going to talk about in the mainstream media, the dogs and the cats. But was his larger point wrong? No, of course it was not wrong. And the Washington Examiner went to Springfield, Ohio, and so did our own Jack Windsor, host of the Windsor Report. Now, first, let me go through some of the details in this Washington Examiner report. Imagine actually going to the place and observing for yourself and talking to the residents. Has David Muir done that? Has Fact Check Barbie done that from ABC? No, of course not. You see any reports on Margaret Brennan been there from CBS? Nora O'Donnell? No, don't think so. But the Washington Examiner puts boots on the ground. And what they found is what we've been telling you, which is that Springfield is overrun by an influx of, I'm not going to say they're legal because they're not legal. They're illegally here through an illegal, unconstitutional program by the Biden administration. Yes, I'm pronouncing myself a Supreme Court justice, saying that it is illegal to fly non-citizens into the United States of America. It is illegal. Where's the Supreme Court on that CBP-1 app? Where are they? Come on. You ruled correctly on affirmative action and on abortion and on the rent moratorium and on the vaccine mandate. Get around to the CBP-1 app, please. So these Haitians in Springfield are causing a lot of problems. They're causing problems with traffic because they don't know how to drive, but they have cars. A tow truck driver in Springfield told the Washington Examiner that every time he goes to an accident and he tows a vehicle, tows it back to the tow yard, nobody comes to pick up the car because they don't own the car. They've been able to use the car or whatever, but they're not like you and me. Our car gets towed. We're going to get our car out of the tow yard. Not the people who are in the bulk of the accidents in Springfield, Ohio. That's from an actual guy who tows cars that are damaged in accidents, the bulk of which are caused by people from Haiti who don't know how to drive, or at least don't know how to drive according to the laws of our country. Rent. What is happening to rent in Springfield? It's rising faster than the national trend. Again, this is in the Washington Examiner story. Why is it rising? Springfield, a garden spot of America? Is it the Martha's Vineyard of Ohio? I don't think so. You ever been there? It's okay. Parts of Springfield are quite nice. Parts of Springfield aren't. So why are the rents rising? Local landlords, quoting from the story, attribute the rise in rents to Haitian renters who, aided by left-wing charities, non-governmental organizations, have successfully applied for Section 8 housing vouchers. A little government kickback, help you with your rent. Yep. Welfare dependency in the Springfield metro area is also a problem because 8,000 people of Haitian origin are now receiving federal assistance from programs like Medicaid. In March of 2022, a year and a half ago, how many were receiving it? Less than 1,000. Less than 1,000. Now over 8,000. What's schools like? What are the schools like? Ay, 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 ay. Springfield City Schools have seen an explosion in non-English speaking students, increasing 540% in the last 7 years. Even the woke mayor of Springfield, the guy who doesn't want Trump to come, the guy who blamed Trump for the dog and cat rhetoric, says that they're getting 40 new students every week and that most of them do not speak English. Do not speak English. So this always comes down to, well, wait, I left out the food pantries. The food pantries, which used to minister to the homeless people in Springfield, the people who had lost their jobs because International Harvester went out of business, and a lot of manufacturing went out of Springfield. What's that like? Here's a quote from a woman named Kelly Hall, who works at a local church. She says, the Haitians really aren't bothering anybody, but I was down at the local food pantry and I had to wait 2.5 hours. It felt like there were 3,000 Haitians in line. You used to be able to fill your cart up. Now you're lucky if you get one thing. And the mystery here is always like, why would they want to ruin an American city like Springfield? Why would they want to ruin it? Why would they want to overrun it with Haitians? Well, pretty much the same answer to every question in government can be solved by adhering to a question that we first heard during Woodward and Bernstein's reporting on Watergate. What was that question? Follow the money. Follow the money. Washington Examiner says that there is an alliance between local businesses and left-wing nonprofit organizations, and they point to an organization we told you about a while back called First Diversity Staffing. It's a temp agency run by a Haitian American named George Ten. The Examiner reports that Ten lives in a 7-figure home, $1 million, 30 minutes from Springfield, drives a Porsche, and a temp agency can be a very good moneymaker. A very good moneymaker, because the people who work at the temp agency have to keep giving you a portion of their salary in order to continue to get work from the temp agency. This is where our friend Jack Windsor report comes in. He was in Springfield. Here's some of the video that he and a partner organization obtained by talking to local residents about First Diversity.
Who owns the 63 rental houses? I've heard a lot about this First Diversity staffing place.
We've got one temp agency in Springfield, First Diversity. He owns 63 houses in Springfield. He boasts about employing 20,000 people. He will pay to arrange the transportation and arrival here. He has shuttle buses that drive people to and from jobs. So a job that would pay $24, $25 with benefits now it's almost like a reverse auction. He's saying, well, I can do it for 20, no benefits. And out of that 20, he'll take $4 or $5 an hour of that person's wage. And then he makes them sign a contract that says, I agree not to be or consider being hired by the company I'm working at. I will forever work as a temp. So it's indentured servitude, which I thought was illegal decades ago.
A few years back, we found a news report that said that First Diversity Staffing was rewarded with tax incentives from the city to hire employees for local factories. What we want to find out is if that is still ongoing.
It's principal players getting their apple cart overturned. If you look at the revenue for First Diversity last year, it was in the 80s of millions of dollars. It's simple math. If you just take $5 an hour times 45 or 50 hours times 10,000 people times 52 weeks, I mean, the math adds up pretty quick. I mean, the vice president of First Diversity drives a Maserati. This guy makes $150,000 to $200,000 a year in driving a Maserati as a company car. So it goes so much deeper.
I grew up, as I said, 30 miles north of Springfield. Used to go there all the time. That was the big town to hang out in. Never saw a Maserati back then.
Clouds and showers, thunderstorm could be heavy this afternoon. We could see some flash flooding and damaging wind, the high 80. Rain, thunderstorm this evening, otherwise cloudy and mild tonight, low 65. Clouds and shower in the area tomorrow, the high 78. Thursday, clouds a little bit warmer, the high up to 81. And then sunny clouds, breezy, warm, and humid Friday, high 79. Passing shower on Saturday, the high 77. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Are you under the impression that a metal roof costs 2 or 3 times more than a shingle roof? No, it doesn't. Hi, folks. I'm Dan Tolan, owner of The Metal Roof Company. As your foremost metal roofing authority in Central Ohio, I can promise you it's the most inexpensive roof you'll ever buy because it's the last roof you'll ever buy. With lifetime warranties and a variety of financing options, give us a call at 721-ROOF, 721-ROOF, or reach out to us on the web at themetalroofcompany.com.
There's a lot going on in today's America, and it can get hard to turn your mind off at night. That's why conservatives have been turning to Beam's Dream. Dream has improved 15 million nights of sleep, and it can improve yours too. Their Dream formula helps you put your day to bed. Just one scoop helps you unlock a full 8 hours of sleep. It might just be the easiest thing you do all day and night. Beam's Dream Formula is the key to falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer. Thanks to its proprietary ingredient stack, mornings feel refreshing, not like a groggy wake-up call. This is a simple, zero-effort addition to any nightly ritual. Simply mix Dream into hot water or milk, then froth, and enjoy. Try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder for yourself and enjoy this limited-time offer of up to 35% off when you go to shopbeam.com/America and use the code America at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/America and use the code America for up to 35% off.
Scott from the Cleveland area has coached girls basketball and supported his granddaughter's athletic pursuits.
My granddaughters have worked hard to excel in sports. It's tough enough. So the idea that Sherrod Brown voted to allow transgender biological men to compete in girls' sports, it's unfair and dangerous. And introducing a bill to allow biological men in girls' locker rooms, biological men to shower in my granddaughter's locker room? No way. I worry about the safety of my family constantly. Now I have to worry about Sherrod Brown's crazy liberal ideas. I thought Sherrod Brown was on my side, but he's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown has let Ohio down. Now he's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
I've been playing sports all my life. Little football, basketball, pickleball, cross training, mud events, Spartan races and things like that.
For Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor, staying active means everything. So when nagging knee pain slowed him down, he didn't want drugs or invasive surgery. He found a natural way to get lasting relief. QC Kinetics Cellular Therapy.
We're using my body's natural abilities to get better. And that's huge. In time, that's going to be the way of the future. Using your own body's ability to heal. Now I can play day to day and not have that severe pain.
Now he's back out there doing what he loves, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Life is good. You're not going to slow me down.
Leave the pain behind and get moving. Book your free consultation today with QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
PatriotSwitch.com products are fantastic, and I got good news. The annual membership to buy PatriotSwitch.com products, which is typically $19, still a bargain compared to Sam's Club, BJ's Wholesale Club, and Costco. Typically $19. It's now extended $1 memberships until the end of September for new members, and that would be you if you go to patriotswitch.com/Bruce to find out more about this company, this private shopping club, family owned, that donates to pro-life causes, pro-police causes, loves America. It's not a conglomerate. It competes against Unilever, Monsanto, Coca-Cola, Nestle, all the companies that recall products because those products are toxic on your store shelves. But patriotswitch.com products are manufactured and sold directly to you, and you get a discount of 35 to 50% on those products if you are a member. There's so much more I could tell you about, but I don't know if you're interested until you go to patriotswitch.com/Bruce. Maybe it's because I was raised by a military father who was a disciplinarian. I suppose now you can't say that because that would be, well, it'd be unkind, even though the Bible, specifically the book of Proverbs, makes it very, very clear that discipline is a part of raising children so that they become functioning members of society. But I'm looking at like 3 stories here today. I maybe I should have saved these for Today in Crazy. But to me, the legal penalties for these 3 stories are so incredibly inadequate. Let's start with ethnic intimidation charges have been dropped against women who vandalized the Ohio State Jewish Center. Why were they dropped? Lena Chabanay, 20, and Umama Omri, 22, of Hilliard, pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of criminal trespass. What did they do? They went to the Hillel Wexner Jewish Center on campus at Ohio State. No, neither was a student. A month after October the 7th, which is when Hamas entered Israel and butchered over 1,000 Jews. So these 2 knuckleheads, Hamas sympathizers, terrorist sympathizers, shouted anti-Israel statements and vandalized Israeli flags in the building's lobby while taking photographs inside the building. Neither woman received any jail time in the case and were not ordered to pay any fines. How about that? Now, I know you're sitting there going, Bruce, come on. This would be the exact penalty if a couple of white dudes from Coshocton or, any other little village around central Ohio happened into, say, an NAACP meeting, tore down a flag or any display in there, or if they went into a place where an LGBTQ organization was headquartered, and they wreaked the same kind of havoc as these 2, they wouldn't get any jail time. They would have their charges reduced to misdemeanors. Yeah, I just thought I'd inject a little humor in your day. Of course, Columbus's inept, incompetent city attorney, Zach Klein, says, this was all a big kumbaya because the Hillel Center, these 2 went before the board and they met with the Hillel Center and they told them what they wanted to hear. And the Hillel Center, that's off to the Hillel Center, was forgiving. That's fine. That's fine. I have no problem. It's awesome when forgiveness is practiced by people of faith, whether it's a Jewish faith, the Catholic faith, the Protestant faith, whatever it is. But you remove consequences for actions. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet these 2 knuckleheads will be at the next Hamas rally on the Ohio State campus? And they'll be breaking down doors and breaking glass and doing whatever they can do to express their anti-Semitism openly. You think they've seen the light? You're stupid. Headline number 2. A Columbus man who fatally shot his 17-month-old daughter and injured her mother in Delaware County will serve more than 4 decades in prison. Sounds pretty stiff, Bruce. The Delaware County prosecutor wanted to seek the death penalty for this guy. He shot his own 17-year-old daughter to death. Okay? And jury selection was supposed to start Monday. And instead they gave him life in prison without the possibility of parole for at least 45 years. So he'll be 87 when he gets out. But this kind of stuff, how much lower can you get than to shoot a 17-month-old? Again, put him on death row and actually complete the sentence. He shot the girl and the mom inside their home, put them in a vehicle, started to drive away, crashed the car. Mom's got the daughter. Daughter's bleeding to death. Good Samaritans come to the aid, try to perform CPR on her to save her life. She's taken to Mount Carmel St. Anne's. She dies. The mom recovers. Then what did this 32-year-old William Roberts do? He carjacked a passerby's vehicle, crashed it too, and then tried to carjack a second vehicle. Oh, yeah. Let's keep him alive and spend all our tax dollars feeding him for the next 45 years. Great idea. Great idea. Now, the His third crime is not a violent crime. The former executive director, a former executive of the Columbus Zoo was sentenced yesterday to 2 months in the Delaware County Jail and 3 years of community control. I don't know what that means. You got to wear a monitor, maybe? For his involvement in a scheme that defrauded the zoo of millions of dollars. Tracy Murnane, the zoo's former purchasing director, so he could write the checks for everything, faced a sentence of more than 8 years in prison after pleading guilty, keyword, guilty, to 8 counts, how many? 8, of grand theft, forgery, and filing incomplete, false, and fraudulent tax returns. That sounds like a pretty purposeful, planned crime. To defraud the Columbus Zoo, which is you, the taxpayers of Central Ohio, of millions of dollars. You say, wait, read the part about the restitution verse. Okay. Mr. Murname's attorney noted that he has paid $90,000 in restitution. Oh, 90,000? How much did he take? Millions. Ah, I see. And he has cooperated with prosecutors in the investigation into the zoo. Well, isn't this guy a candidate for Citizen of the Year? He steals millions in concert with others, betrays the taxpayers' trust, feathers his own pockets by selling vehicles and then skimming off the top, inflating the value, buys an RV for his own personal use, and then sings like a canary and gets how many months? 2 months in Delaware County Jail. Mr. Murnane said, "I'm very sorry that I let my family, friends, and my community down. The most important thing I want to put across is that I'm sorry that I put my family through this." I don't know this guy. He might be a decent guy. I don't know what happened in his life. Maybe he became addicted to drugs or just was influenced by other people. Nope, scratch the last part. He's an adult. He's immune to the influence of other people, or should be, if you got a position like this and you got the power that he had to sign checks and defraud the taxpayers. Then he's responsible. And this is my whole issue with these 3 stories, is that we don't hold people who are responsible to the extent that they are guilty. And then we get more of the same kind of criminal dysfunction in our society. And it's not just criminal dysfunction. Look at the Biden administration. What happens to you if you're in the Biden administration and you fail at something? You fail at securing the border. You fail at energy policy. You fail at the Afghanistan withdrawal. You fail at anything. There are consequences for that? Well, I mean, kind of. You fail up, like Kamala did.
Finally here, Fine Home Furnishings, Polaris Location's grand opening. Dive into a world of premier American-made furniture featuring the best brands and endless customization options. The grand opening event offers special deals and a chance to transform your home with furniture as unique as you are. Don't miss out. Come celebrate. Fine Home Furnishings, Polaris Parkway. Fine Home Furnishings, OH.com.
From breaking news and weather across the country to insight from the brightest minds of conservative opinion, it's Salem News Channel. Home to the biggest shows on TV, like Sebastian Gorka, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by Stacey Washington at 5. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Watch Salem News Channel free now on Zumo Play. Learn more at snc.tv/Zumo. Find us at 989theanswer.com. Download our apps. Stream us 24/7. WTOH and WTOH HD1, Upper Arlington, Columbus.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Tropical storm Helene forming in the Caribbean after bringing heavy rains and big waves to the Cayman Islands. Forecasters warn the storm is expected to strengthen into a major hurricane. En route to the southeast U.S., hurricane watches now in effect for Florida's Tampa Bay and from Inglewood to Indian Pass. President Biden delivered his final speech at the United Nations General Assembly. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with that report.
Addressing the UN for the last time, the president touched on the world's major crises, including Ukraine's fight for freedom against Russia.
We cannot look away. We will not let up on our support for Ukraine.
And he renewed his call for peace in the Middle East.
Full-scale war is not in anyone's interest.
On the subject of
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
To seek re-election, Mr. Biden told world leaders.
All right, that'll do it for today's edition. You guys have a great day.
Greg Clugston.
And we'll see you tomorrow if you tune in. Appreciate it. Be safe, be well. Stay dry. Haven't had to say that in a while. Have a great one. See ya.